Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I had one of those days where I went, wow, I can't believe what is happening in this space. I'm going to explain. First, we're going to take a look at the market and then some news. Bitcoin is very strong, pulling almost all of the projects up with it. It has even had a chance to feel what it is feeling like to be at 58,000. So I think this is an amazing time. Please take advantage of this bull run because they don't always stick around that long. All right, let me tell you something that came out today in the last 24 hours from the oldest bank in the United States. The analyst, William Clemente, said that with everything being manipulated in the fiat world, all roads lead to the free and open Bitcoin market. Can you believe it? So BNY Mellon, they are comparing the characteristics of Bitcoin to gold and recognizing that Bitcoin is unique. It has properties that make it very difficult to calculate the value. Citing its supply could play an important role with the increased liquidity. The bank is predicting a rise in price for Q3 and Q4. Amazing. As investors are desperately searching for yield because we are in this ever increasing negative yield bond environment. And very soon, I think the XRP holders are no longer going to have to see the headlines or updates like this with Jed's sales, because in the last 15 days, he sent 127 million XRP to be sold. And he just has 336 million left in his taco stand wallet. And prior to sending this batch to be sold, he had 152 million that he put onto the market, and it didn't do anything to the price. So for all those people who always said that he was suppressing price, yeah, it really did not. But it'll be really great when we don't have to see these updates anymore. And for now, I think we're going to continue to see the updates for the SEC versus Ripple. Yeah, they're going to dominate because we see Attorney John Deaton and Ripple fighting very, very hard. But we have, in particular, a letter that was written by the SEC Tenro, and he is trying to take a shot at Attorney John Deaton. The letter that went to Judge Torres was trying to convince her that Mr. Deaton was really making a reason for his motivation to seek an intervention was just for profit taking. Oh my gosh, twisting the reality, clearly. It's just really unbelievable what kind of games they play in the pursuit to win. Now, we had a cameo. That was pretty amazing. Attorney Tin Vu Hogan. What a nice surprise. I really enjoyed it. Jeremy, you are just always bringing us such a surprise with your videos. Okay, now I'm going to get a little serious here. I really want to be clear that while Ripple fights for this fair and just regulation and clarity, I need to remind everyone that there's a lot happening with Flare networks. This decentralized space is something that cannot go unrecognized. Right now, it has 78.7 billion locked up in financial products across different chains. It's called TVL. So if you stay in the space of DeFi, you're going to hear TVL a lot, total value locked. And this site, which is the DeFi Llama, will show you exactly which project by chain is ranked. And you can see here that the wrapped BTC followed by MakerDAO, then followed by Compound, and then you've got Binance on the Binance chain. All of these rank as the top four for value that's locked up. Of the 139 projects that you find on the DeFi Llama, 115 of them are with Ethereum. And unfortunately, it is really a shame that there are some people who still don't understand how big the network will be for Spark and the Spark holders. You're going to be able to receive rewards that will be based on pooling all this liquidity on the platform that will drive these financial and gaming products. And Flair tweeted out just to ignore the fudsters, because there are people who are just putting down the projects that are being aggregated on this platform. I want to say, don't get left behind. When you go to the cryptofees.info site, you can see with just common sense here that the fees on Ethereum, Uniswap, Bitcoin, for just one day, the top 3 fees are going to the miners that totaled $24 million for one day. We have to come all the way down here to find the Binance chain, 16,167, and for one day, XRP is here at $777.22. That's the lucky sevens. And then there's Stellar at $56.82. So I was asked last night when I went into the on-the-chain virtual meetup, am I really that excited about Flare? In other words, don't I think it's a little overhyped? No, not at all. And why? Because these DeFi protocols are going to have the most impact on our financial legacy systems, more than Bitcoin. I want to play for you Glenn Hutchins of Silver Lake. Silver Lake Capital, well, he's a private equity investor. He's focused on the technology sector. He's a Harvard law guy. He's also been a senior advisor on the economic policy in the White House back in 1992. Former Blackstone. He was on the board of TD Ameritrade. He was also a board member of the Federal Reserve Bank in New York, and he is also a Ripple investor. I want to play for you this portion when he was on Bloomberg, and you can really understand the different financial sectors that DeFi is going to not only disrupt, but put it on its head. Have a listen.
The real promise of these technologies, the reason that I understand you got into it from the first place, is because what it could do for the friction, right, the cost in functions like payments, right, or clearing, correct, or custody. These are essential components of the financial system that help to make banks like JP Morgan as profitable as they are and to generate the return on assets that they currently do. What happens if crypto takes those profits away from the financial system, eliminates the friction there, or in something like real estate, right, where you have to deal with a lawyer, you have to deal with title insurance, you have to deal with registration, you have to deal with all that nonsense?
Well, that's part of the vision of this, right, which is that, so I'll make an analogy. We, in the last 20 years of trading on Wall Street, there's been a lot of news recently, you might have noticed, about GameStop and other things. A lot of that is the end result of not this GameStop stuff, but just kind of what's going on now. The end result of putting technology into equity markets and taking over 99% of the cost out of trading in equities. Mm-hmm. Today, the cost is less than 1% of what it was 20 years ago to trade equities. We've gone from 8.75 spreads to sub-penny spreads, and from huge commissions to zero commissions. During that same time period, the credit card companies think they've had a birthright to 2 to 3% of every dollar that moves around the world. FX costs 5 to 7%. Remittances cost close to 10%. Payday loans can cost up to 20%. And to be able to reduce those prices to consumers by 50, then 75 to 90% will be a massive consumer welfare benefit. It's one of the reasons why.
So ballpark it for me. What percentage of the profits in a financial system do you think today are at risk because of the promise of effectively the protocol, as you said, right? These various protocols that enable transformation on a technological level?
So I haven't quantified that, Erik, so I really don't know. I can't give you a good answer. I would say the way I think about it is that I think that the deposit taking and lending will continue to be core, highly regulated elements of money center banks. All the services, and you alluded to some of them around that payments, custody, settlement, clearing, all those sorts of things that are their services, businesses that they charge very high fees for, and have very high returns on capital on, will be ones that this technology can go after and can take massive amounts of cost out. That's the way to think about it.
Glenn, I want to
take massive amounts of cost down. This is not just a fringe service. This is the vision of crypto. Payments, clearing, custody, credit cards, FX, remittances. Forget the payday loans at 20%. Can you imagine that that was even allowed? These are real consumer welfare benefits that are coming through, and it is going to change our space with immense impact. All right, I want to play for you now, just to round off this video, a portion of an interview where Hugo Filion appeared, who is the founder of Flare Networks. And you can see here, when you actually aggregate this value, this power, this huge amount of value into one ecosystem used for the greater good, it is the true start of mainstream adoption. And we are playing off of Bitcoin, XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, Doge, Cardano, Algo. Have a listen here.
I appreciate that there are bridges that have been built to different networks. However, we've done a lot of analysis on those kind of bridges, and most of them have an element of a custodial or a centralized nature. So really, we look at this ecosystem, Bitcoin, XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, Doge, even Cardano, which today doesn't have smart contracts or even potentially Algo RAM. And to us, that's a huge amount of people and a huge amount of value that really can be brought into an ecosystem and then hopefully used for the greater good. And really, that's the place, if we want mainstream adoption, that we feel we should start.
That's where we should start. Do you remember on the 25th of March, Elon Musk tweeted out 3 simple words. He said, "Don't DeFi, DeFi." I think it's much more profound than most people realize. It is going to put the powers of the money control on their head. And the people with smaller means will truly be given equal power. Flare Networks is going to be a large part of that shift of power. So I want you to hang out on the Discord channel of Flare Finance so that you can practice in the beta that is going to restart and resume, because I want you to not miss out, and I want you to get all the rewards that you deserve to have in this space. And the Flare Finance is also having an art contest, and I picked my favorite piece from today. There's so many great pieces. Amazing how much talent is in this space. I love this one with the falling cherry blossoms. And I think, I just can't wait till it resumes again. Now I'm jumping to the fluff, everyone. Believe it or not, this is the Metropolitan Police Department cheerleaders. Truly, they are the real deal. They are, in this particular case, they're in front of Shimbashi Station trying to call attention to some fraudsters that are doing scams. And so I have to tell you, though, originally they formed their cheerleading squad to root for the football league that is here in Japan. They play American football. It's called the X League, and they're playing by the college division rules that you find in the United States. It's the big companies like Fujitsu, IBM Japan, Mitsubishi, Panasonic, Fuji Xerox. They've been doing so for 50 years. Yeah, I think you would be really surprised to see how serious they are. And there is one team that's made up of all policemen. And so I will put a link to their channel in the description below, and you can have a listen to their theme song. It's pretty good. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.